wiring is very expensive. Today is finally the last day of electrical, and I am so excited. A few cuss words. Electrical is no joke. Actually in there that is being powered by our battery. So that's what we're going to do this week. We're going to hook up our 12 volt and our 110 volt systems to our battery, really getting things ready to go because we're getting very close to finishing up this project, or almost done with electrical. Let's see if we can get it done. Last week when I installed the bus bar to the solar charge controller, I didn't really like the wiring that I used. It was a little bit too big in gauge. I used 8 gauge instead of 10 gauge, and it made the fit really challenging where I just didn't feel comfortable with it. So my first step was taking that 8 gauge wire off of the solar charge controller, and I'm changing it out with 10 gauge wire. But this 8 gauge wire, when I was thinking about it, I can use that for my 12 volt panel to be a quick change out in order to reuse this 8 gauge wire that's already installed to the bus bar to the 12 volt, which then will power our 12 volt system. For my MaxxAir fan and for all of the electrical inside, I'm actually going to be running all of the electrical through the interior of the camper instead of fishing the wire from the outside, and that's primarily because it's going to be much easier. I took all of the old electrical out of the camper for a variety of reasons, but the biggest one is that the mice had chewed it up pretty badly, and I could have run the electrical before I put the kitchen and everything else back in, but I kept not being confident with my skills in doing it. So I bought this little electrical cover, and I'm just going to run it above the benches, so it's just going to be a much easier and cleaner look in the end. This interior light wiring actually ran through the top of the camper a little hole and then down this slit in the fabric into the camper again at the bottom. I'm actually going to be reusing this. I pulled out the old wiring that was in here from the lights, and we're going to be using that specifically to run the MaxxAir fan wiring down the pop-up, down the canvas here, and then we're going to be using the old hole to put it in and then drill a hole inside the camper to run it through the kitchen area. That's the plan. Looking back on how I decided to do this, I should have left the old wiring in and just attached the new wiring and then pulled the old wiring out. But I didn't do that, so here we are with cuts and everything else, just trying to get the fan hooked up. Oh my god, I never want to do this again for the rest of my existence. Now, I'm going to push a wire through, and I need you to tell me if you can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, pull it. Cover on where you drilled the hole, and then I'm going to run the wires. Oh my god. I think I finished the hardest part, so hopefully the rest of this will be smooth sailing. All right, positive wire. Oh, legs hurt.
Your legs?
Yeah, my knees from bending over so much.
Whoa, it's on.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I should have done the electrical so many months ago.
Oh man.
I could just stand here like the rest of the day. MaxxAir fan, check. So I'm just adding a USB port into the bench right now. I've gotten a component installed to the top, and now I just need to wire it down into the 12 volt system. Okay, I've got USB done, MaxxAir fan done. The The only other 12 volt that I can hook up today is the outlet that goes to our fridge, which is this one. So this has USB ports and it has the port for our 12 volt fridge that's going to hook up into it. I'm determining exactly where I'm going to run it from, either inside the shoe cabinet or inside the next cabinet. But then this will run to the 12 volt panel as well. Just drilled these holes. Didn't measure, just kind of put it up there and went from there. Nope, okay. A few little taps. I can tell I'm getting tired because it's harder for me to hold up the drill. My knees, when I have to sit down here, I got really bad bruises last week. A few cuss words. I think I've got this outlet done. Everything looks good, connected correctly. So now, I just need to see if it works. Maybe. There we go. The fridge is turned on. So this is our bougie RV fridge. Tells us how many volts of electricity it's currently using, what the current temperature inside is, and then you can set the temperature from there. This is what it looks like. So this is run on basically a 12 volt cigarette lighter here, which is then tied into our 12 volt system inside there. Ourselves a 12 volt system. All set up. Oops, I'm sitting on the fridge. All set up. Pretty good. We're gonna switch gears here and do our inverter system because it's super, super simple. Is running a power strip. That's it. Because I didn't want to run and fish wire for now. And it just felt like for what we're going to be doing with 110 system, we didn't really need it. So what I did is I just bought a power strip that we're gonna put on the wall that's gonna be covered by the table anyways. And then we're gonna have all of the electrical outlets that we need. Should be very, very easy. I just need to run the wires into the bus bar and then hook this up into the system, into the inverter, and then install this on the outside. Oh yeah. See that? Not good. You have no idea how nice it is to be able to do that. Today is finally the last day of electrical and I am so excited. My body hurts so bad. There are micro cuts everywhere. I have so many bruises and I'm exhausted. One thing left that we have to do, and that is installing the shunt. The shunt is basically the piece that's going to tell us how much of our battery we're using at any given time on a display monitor that we have in the opposite bench. We're going to be running our shunt to this display monitor here, which is going to tell us exactly what our battery is doing at any given time so that we know if we need to turn things on or if we can run our fan a little bit longer. Basically, how much life does our battery have left based on how much solar we're generating on a given day. And I've read a lot about different configurations that you can install these. We're going to be running this to the bus bar. So we're actually going to be putting one of the sides directly into the bus bar and then running the opposite side to the negative terminal of the battery. Hopefully this goes pretty fast. Started doing a little bit of preliminary work here. I have a 2-gauge red wire. Even though we're putting it on the negative side, this is the wire that I have. I wrote negative all over this wire just so it's known that it's a negative wire, but I had it sitting around, and instead of buying another $20 worth of wire, I'm just going to use this. So you can see here we're actually going to be running this from the negative terminal to the opposite side of the shunt here. The first thing that we need to do is put this back together here. Ooh, those knees. of that moment of truth of turning everything on and seeing, did it work or not? Bit confused. We're only seeing our voltage, not our power, current, or energy consumption, which was the whole point of having this. For a brief second, when I turned off the fan, it says I'm using 0.03 amps. So something is trying to work. Well, I can't figure it out. It's been over an hour. I've read some like solar forums and some other stuff, and I don't know what's going on. Some people said it's something about the amperage, other people said it's a wiring issue. I've checked my diagram. I don't know. So I've emailed customer service. But in the meantime, I'm just thrilled in here. I can charge my phone, I can run a fan, I can do things, which is incredible. So without further ado, here is our mini tour. In our smaller bench that houses our water tank, we have our non-functioning shunt that will show us eventually how much energy we're using at any given time, as well as our inverter switch. So when we turn this on, we can use our 12-volt system. I did things the easy way, which means that I ran all of our wiring inside of the camper and not through this wall. This is our only 110 outlet that we have in here. We will have a table set up, so all of our computers will be charged here. If we want to run a coffee maker, anything like that, we'll turn the inverter on and we can do it right there. In our bench top, added a piece of the same kind of glued edge pine that we have on our countertop. We have a USB outlet here that we can charge our phones, cameras, anything like that on 12 volt with our solar power. And then our quick disconnect for our solar is running through there as well. In here we have our inverter, our battery, our bus bars, and our 12 volt panel. Everything is running in unison right now. Everything's turning on and it looks very good. Our final outlet in here is hidden behind this drawer, and it runs to our 12 volt fridge and it powers on right here. And that is the end of our electrical journey together. I am so excited. So subscribe, please subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel if you like this video, want more videos, because it helps me continue to make free videos.